Hello members, this is my last review of Wolf Hall Season 2. And that's episode 6 called Light. It's the end of Cromwell. It is a very good episode. There's lots to discuss. But mostly there are some stuff that has left me a bit unsure about it. Again, it's very condensed, but somehow less condensed than, the other ones where they literally put like months, even years together and crammed everything. And I think that so many storylines are not fully developed in the series, which means you don't really understand what's going on in the final episode, and I want to break down that to you. There's lots of flashbacks where Cromwell is reflecting on his life. And obviously all of this is Hilary Mantel, trying to make Cromwell way more human. And I think we tend to remove some parts of his personalities. I think it's a very, maybe too positive portrayal of Cromwell, which is obviously something we would expect. One of the scenes that is really good is obviously when Ralph Sadler is coming to see his master. They have a very strong bond. I'll make a video about them. And obviously, he's telling them he didn't know what was going to happen, otherwise he would have tried to warn him.
I don't know myself what was happening. If I had known, I would have got warning to you somehow. As we were going in, Risley called me back for some footling piece of business. And then as I approached the council chamber...
Sadler? Your master is arrested. I'm going to Parliament House to announce it.
So in the sources we don't have this type of details, but that's not how it happened. Apparently Sadler and some of Cromwell's men were there. They were just standing back. They were at the back, and it's probably... I don't know if they knew. Honestly, it's very hard, even when you look at the primary sources. But in the sources, apparently they were all there. Now, obviously, the reason is like, why would they not warn their master? Did they know that it was going to happen? Probably not. They probably arrived at the council and realized that the faction of Norfolk and Stephen Gardiner was, dominant, and something was going on. But they also knew that if Cromwell was arrested, there was nothing they could really do at the time, right? Like, it's not like they're going to take up arms. That's going to make things way worse if they did anything. So I think here we're just trying to explain why Sadler didn't do anything. So that's a nice story. That's not really what we think happened. It's what you need to understand is that Cromwell, when people say Cromwell have lots of enemies, he did. There were reasons why he had so many enemies at court and beyond. It's not just because, he was so close to power or he was outsmarting everyone. He was a very ambitious, ruthless, scheming man. He was in control of so many things, and he loved his control. In the rest of the scene, Cromwell is asking about his family. He's telling that Richard, his nephew, and Gregory have to stay away, have to remain away. Sadler is going to be permitted to keep seeing Cromwell. Then we move on to the scene where he's confronted with what he did wrong. The 4 people in the show are Norfolk, Stephen Gardiner, Risley, where he realizes obviously that not a friend. I made a video on that, where I feel like we should have had more hints. And Richard Rich, which is also someone that he helped. So it must have felt a bit tough for Cromwell.
We might begin with the purple doublet. You understand, sir, that it is my duty to put these questions to you, and that I bear you no ill will in the doing of it.
I know a disclaimer when I hear it, Rich. May I see the king? No, Clive.
When else gave your lordship that idea?
The King of France once gave me this. And when he did, I took it to our king, who after a time was pleased to return it to me, saying it might be a token between us. And if I sent it to him, even if I did not have my seal, he would know it came from me. So I sent it to him now.
It's funny because obviously he's like master secretary and he's, you know, targeting Risley. You can imagine that it must have been a very hard pill to swallow. Okay, so I'm not trying that to say, you know, obviously it's a certain portrayal of Cromwell. But it's a very, very hard pill to swallow for Cromwell, especially that Risley owed him so much. But he tended to forget that Risley had been at the service of Guardian before. He's never been a man of great loyalty. Why he's portrayed as such in the whole show? Because he's not. He's just not. And he obviously wants to confront, like you can see that he really wants to confront Risley.
But what's the point? The king knows where you are. He put you here.
Yes, I know, but it will remind him of how I've served him to the best of my capacities and the utmost of my strength, as I hope to do for many years yet.
Yes, well, that is what we are here to determine, whether you have served him or no, whether you have abused his confidence, as he believes, and plotted against his throne.
How plotted?
Letters have been discovered at Austin Friars, highly prejudicial to your claims to be a loyal and quiet subject.
Clear proof of treason. I'm waiting for you to tell me what they are. I cannot guess what you might forge, can I?
I love that. I love that reply. You know what I like is that he was a very, very intelligent man. I love that he's portrayed that way. He had probably a spectacular mind. So I love that, you know, that he replied like, I tell me what they are because I don't know what you might have forged. Like, you know, like it's just such a good line. It was a very, very good episode. It was, you know, hard to watch because you do feel for him. But at the end of the day, I will quote Game of Thrones for you, and I'm sorry. But if you want to play the Games of Thrones, you win or you die. And for Cromwell, obviously, he died trying to play his best game. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the last episode of Warfall. Bye!